Good morning, YouTube, and I am back with another Leafs report. Back-to-back in Florida. Last night they played the Panthers, and it wasn't great. I don't know if they were gassed from the kind of track meet game they played the night before against Tampa, but they just didn't have it. They actually got out to an early lead just before the game was 2 minutes old. Hainsey blasted one through a screen that beat Luongo to go up 1-0, but before the first period was over, they were down 2-1. And it stayed that way for a long time. They kind of stabilized things in the second period. You know, they got down 2-1 near the end of the first, and it looked like things were just unraveling. But they did stabilize things in the second and tried to chip away, but they just couldn't make any headway. And a lot's being made of the slumps that are going on. I mentioned last time in Tampa, Marleau and Kadri both scored, which were slump busters, both for them because they hadn't scored in some time. But a couple of the big guns haven't scored in a while either. Matthews has been goalless for a while. Nylander has been pretty much goalless since he's gotten back into the lineup after his contract holdout, and a lot's being made of that. And they're talking now about, you know, putting Nylander as a healthy scratch for the next game and trying to wake him up and get him going. Matthews, on the other hand, he hasn't looked quite right for a while, but the last couple games he's looked more like his regular self. So I don't know if he's just going through some growing pains and that kind of thing or whatever, but it looks like he might be back on track. So because we haven't had to worry much about the Tavares and the Marner line. They haven't slumped at all. They've hardly had a bad game at all. But that top line with Matthews and Nylander, and they have had their struggles. So hopefully, with Matthews looking like he's going to turn the page, and then hopefully eventually Nylander getting back into form and getting some points, hopefully it'll all kind of come together as the season's in its second half here and starts to wind down. The fourth line's been great. I mean, they're not expected to chip in much offensively, but they do here and there. And but they're more of a grinding shutdown, eating up minutes to give the other lines a bit of a break kind of line, and they're great at it. And then with Kadri and Marleau getting on the board, you know, hopefully there's that third line starting to go. So yeah, hopefully it's all coming together. In goal, Sparks got the start because it was a back-to-back, and Freddie played the first game in Tampa, and he looked really good. The two goals they scored on him, the first goal was nothing. It was just a tip, high shot, tipped right in front of him, and it went straight down through his legs. Like, there's nothing you can do about that other than just get lucky and have it hit you. And then the second goal was weird. It was a screen, but it was like it beat him right in the middle of the net. Like I don't know how it got by him. It was weird. But really there wasn't much he could do on either of those goals. And after that he locked things down for the rest of the game before Florida added an empty netter later on as the Leafs pulled the goalie and tried to tie things up. But so he was good. That was good because he's got a lot of wins in relief. But like I've mentioned before, they seem to be high-scoring wins, which, you know, so last night was good to see him kind of more low-scoring, shutdown kind of game, especially since it was his first game back after being out with the concussion protocol, whatever was going on. I didn't ever really hear a straight answer on that, so so that was encouraging too. So, but I'm just chalking last night up to, you know, back-to-back in Florida. They played the night before, a really tough game, and then they'll have a break before they play Arizona on Sunday for hometown hockey. They're off tonight, which is weird. It's always weird not having a Leafs game on a Saturday night. but yeah, so, and Arizona sucks. Not that they are incapable of beating the Leafs. The Leafs' problem, I think, is that they're like, oh, we're so talented, but they don't realize it doesn't matter how talented you are in a league that's so tight together. If you don't do the work, you're still going to lose. So hopefully they're learning those lessons, and they will show up to play against Arizona, and you know, they could really put up a big statement win against a much weaker opponent if they're all on the same page and they put in the work. So we will see what happens. I was hoping for much better news this morning, but thus is the great game of hockey. So until Monday morning, I bid you adieu.